Are we heading into a recession? It sure feels like it. Lots of fear and uncertainty are starting to creep into the markets. We've got tariffs policy that went into play today. We've got a global trade war that's kicked off and seems to be escalating. We've got a stock market that's pulled back 15% year to date, on its way to what it seems like a bear market, which is 20%. And now we've got interest rates shooting up pretty quickly here just over the course of last week, reversing the trend we saw last week. Those are all a tough combination. And in fact, the odds makers on Wall Street, they've increased their recession odds to highest level in years. We're at between 62 to 65%, might even be higher by the day's over. So, of course, I'm getting a lot of questions. What does this mean for housing? You know, there's some fears that an impending recession would lead to home prices pulling back after having gone up for years. Well, I've got great news for you. I did some research, went back and looked at the last 7 recessions, going back to the late 70s, and home prices went up during and after all of those recessions except one. That was a recession back in 2008 that was largely led by housing, a faulty mortgage system that caused the market to crash and home prices to come down. And we all know how that worked out. It recovered pretty quickly starting about 2 to 3 years later. So why don't home prices decline? You know, there's lots of financial matters at play, but I'm gonna break it down to 3 simple ones in my opinion. One is housing supply gets limited during recessions. A lot of homeowners decide, hey, I'm not gonna list my house on the market right now. I don't wanna move during everything that's going on. And on top of that, I don't think I'll get the best price because it's a recession. So they tend to not list their homes, which brings down inventory even further. Demand, it stays strong. You know, life goes on for a lot of home buyers. People are getting married, people are having kids, people are relocating for work. And on top of that, the population has grown so much, it still far exceeds the amount of homes available in the US, and that's been a problem for years. And lastly, the government steps in. Stimulus policies go into effect, government usually cuts rates, and you see that lead to lower borrowing costs, improved affordability, excitement's created, and that's typically what gets us out of a recession. So don't worry, I think home prices will continue to go up even if we head into a recession. Of course, if you have any questions, always hit me up, shant@rate.com, or send me a direct message. Let me know what you think in the comments.